How's it going, everybody? It's Stock Picks by Tim, and I've got another quick upload for you. I'm gonna get into 5 stocks here that have just been continuously beaten down the last couple of days. Now, there are a lot of stocks out there that have been just decimated, and I want to get into a couple here. But first off, we're gonna start off with Senseonics, and this one did seem to try to find a floor here, bounced, came back down again. I see this as a spot that it could bounce off again if we don't just turn around right now and form this nice double bottom that we might see. But going back, you will see that we do have somewhat of a support here in this level. So I do feel pretty safe buying Senseonics where it's at right now. And looking at the RSI, it is looking oversold. I do think I will purchase some Senseonics tomorrow. It's looking like a buy. I already do have a pretty decent position, but I'll consider maybe adding a couple more shares to it. But yeah, I do have a more in-depth video on Senseonics in one of my previous videos. You can check it out if you want, but let's get into the next one. And next up, we have got Palantir. This is PLTR, and I've talked about this one a while ago, back when it was in like the 21 range, and I said I would start buying here where it's at, and I did do that, but sure enough, it did drop a little bit more. We are approaching oversold here. We're at oversold on the 6-month, the 3-month, the 1-month, and the year. But there's a potential that we may come just a little bit further down before we test this and bounce back up. I like this under 20 bucks. I will continue to just buy in, and you will see that we do have some green starting to form, so this could indicate that the bottom has arrived. Now, if you wanted to kind of swing trade this or day trade this, you'd want to see this definitely start showing some more strength before even entering. But I could see this being a good buy where it's at, and I will continue to buy in, maybe even consider some 2022 calls. Maybe like $25 or something. March 2022 might go with something like that. But I think when this thing turns around, it is going to turn around pretty nicely. And you will see back here when it was trading right around $18, $19, it did bounce very quickly, and we went on a run up to about $27 before cooling off to about 21 and blasting off again. So I do like it where it's at, and I think it is a spring ready to coil up and blast off. And next up is Bngo. Now this, before the last couple of days, this has been continually just dropping, and I did say that I liked it here in this low 5 range and it had a nice support, but sure enough, it did break. I definitely failed on this one, and it did continue to drop, but now it does look like it's trying to find a base, and it has already bounced off this 3 times, right about where it's at. And you will see that in about 2019, it was trading right around this range, so it could be a decent spot to scoop it up. I kind of doubt we'll see it down here in the low dollar range, but you know, it does help to zoom out at times and see where the stock came from. And you will see that there was really no other level of support, so if this doesn't hold, it could just continue to drop. But it does seem like it is going to try to use this as a support. I would feel pretty comfortable buying here, and just like Senseonics, it could W and start blasting off. We have just been having this extended fear in the market. I do feel pretty comfortable buying it here, and I will average down considerably from that $5 range on this one. We're oversold on the 6-month, very close on the 3-month and the 1-month. So I feel like it is a pretty safe place to buy it, and I do like the underlying company. And that's another important thing. Every stock I talk about here, I have looked into, and I actually like the underlying company. It's not just a random chart to look at. Next up, it does look like Aquestive is kind of forming a double top. I do like to buy a little bit heavier as this dips farther and farther under $6. Did find some nice support here at the 100-day EMA, bounced off pretty nicely, and we'll see what it does again. This could be a great place to accumulate, in my opinion, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. The FDA trial is coming up mid-December, and I think this is set to come up at least closer to that 7 mark. I think we will test that previous high very soon, within weeks, in my opinion. Another one that if you don't have a position in, is definitely, I think, a good one to just ride on the hype and momentum coming up. And if they do get approved, this is just going to continue to blast off. And if they don't get approved, of course, this is going to take it all away and probably come back to the low 4s. I definitely will be skimming some off the top coming up to mid-December as we get closer to that FDA trial date. I believe it's December 23, unless I'm thinking of a different stock. But yeah, another one to keep on your radar and potentially buy where it's at. I really do like it where it's at, and I will very likely buy some more of this tomorrow. And I have been swinging calls. When this dips under 6, I start slowly picking up calls, and then when it goes over 6, I like to start taking my profits off of those and just kind of playing the calls, swinging them around, and it's been working pretty well so far. Now, as for 3D Sphere or any, this one is approaching oversold. It has been continuing to drop like a fallen knife, and it dropped even more today. I would wait to see where this starts to bottom out at before buying more. Although you could just all dollar cost average at some point in 2022, the merger will happen unless, things just fall through and there's an unforeseen event or they executives decide that it's just not a good idea to merge. But either way, it's just the delay of the merge that caused this huge sell off. And, Bitcoin has been kind of just stagnating in the mid 50s, flip flopping around 53 to 58. And that's another reason people are losing faith in this one. It dropped quite considerably once we heard the news of the merger being delayed into 2022 and not happening the end of this year. So that definitely took all our momentum away. And we are just continuing to drop. We will see if we find somewhat of a support in the upper threes or at just right around 4. But I'd pretty much be preferring to wait and see if we can break this downward trend and just start turning around, maybe bounce over the 10-day. I wouldn't really want to buy it right here. I would want to wait to see if we can actually form a support. Although at some point this does just get to a point where if you believe they're going to merge with Griffin, and if you know that any already has access to the 60,000 miners and they're working on acquiring more miners, you'd be bullish on this one like I am. But I already do have a huge position in this, and I've got calls too, 2022s to be exact. If I didn't have such a big position on this, I would probably be just chipping away, buying a couple shares here and there. But since I have such a large position, and since it's continuing to just be a falling knife and not seem to find support, I will just wait until it does find support and start trying to bounce. Then I might add a little more. But to be completely honest, I am definitely overextended into Bitcoin miners, the Clean Sparks, the Ennies, Bitcoin itself. And not to mention, it's just a falling knife. But I would wait on this one to see a reversal. But that's basically it for you, just to update on another 5 stocks. Want to let you know I'm not just leaving these ones out since they've been dropping. I do have a plan with these ones as well. But yeah, that's basically it, guys. Thank you so much. Consider hitting like and subscribe. I do put out videos every single day. And until next time, thanks.